fight fans, welcome back to Carlo Cruza MMA. I'm with a returning guest of the show, a friend of the show. He is UFC fighter. He is Mr. Bogdan Grad. Exciting news, Bogey. A couple weeks ago, you got announced that you're going to be making your UFC debut in Saudi Arabia, taking on Lucas Alexander. Were you pretty excited when you found out that you have a fight coming up?
Oh yeah, I'm very excited, and I'm very happy about that. About it that it's gonna be a UFC fight night in Riyadh because that's pretty big, as I saw.
Now, right now, you're in the car. Where are you headed to? What's up?
So I'm driving to Vienna to Vendetta Fight Nights. That's a big organization here in Austria, and I am the head referee there.
So how did you get into this? Obviously, you've been a fighter for many of years, but when did you start reffing?
That was 2017 after my ACL surgery. I couldn't stay away from fighting, so I figured something out, and that was refereeing. So I stepped into that octagon faster as I thought.
You know, what are the reactions like now when you go to these smaller shows, these regional shows in Vienna and Austria in general? What are the reactions like when people see you?
Good reactions. People are very friendly and they are happy for me.
You know, are you really feeling that attention now, man? I mean, wherever you go out in Austria, are people coming up to you?
Uh, Wherever I go, no, that's too much. I think I have to become more famous before that happens. But with a good knockout on February 1st, that's gonna be it. But there are a lot of people that know me and they are cheering for me, and I respect them and I'm thankful for that.
All right, so you're taking on Lucas Alexander. Lucas Alexander, a guy who's fought multiple times in the UFC. Overall, when you first heard about that fight, what do you think of him as an opponent?
Um, he is a very solid opponent. I heard Michael Bisping saying that he has over 100 kickboxing fights. Um, and so he's a very good stand-up fighter. But this is not a kickboxing fight. It's gonna be MMA. So we have something figured out for him.
You know, I'm really excited about this one because both of you guys want to go forward. No one's going backwards here. You guys are both really good strikers. Could this one be an absolute slugfest?
Yeah, that's nothing new for me. I had a slugfest with Michael Esbel, who is fighting today. I saw at Cage Fury. So on this way, I want to wish him all the best for the upcoming fight, and I hope he gets the win. So, and I'm looking forward to February 1st to put on a performance. I am not gonna look away. I'm gonna be right in his face, as always.
You know, when you found out it was Saudi Arabia, did that excite you?
Of course, of course. I know they love the sport of MMA and they treat fighters very well, and also their fan base is very big, and that's what we want as fighters.
You know, there's a lot of sacrifices of any fighter that they have to go through. Obviously, you know, when you're first starting out on the regional scene, you're not making much money. A lot of guys have jobs. Some guys have kids. Some guys have families. You have to deal with killers every single day. You've been doing this for a while now, and now you land on the biggest pinnacle of the sport. How have you come through all the sacrifices over the
Um, yeah, it was a lot of work to get where I am today, and this being said, it's just the beginning. But I'm pretty sure that's gonna end very good for me. I'm staying focused, training like I've did uh, in the past to come here, and I'm looking to reach much higher goals.
Now that you're in the UFC, has the goals changed?
Of course. Before I got into the UFC, I was like, okay, my dream is just to get into the UFC, and then my life MMA career book is good. But now that I'm here, of course, I'm looking to get into the top of the top.
You talked before about wanting to represent both Austria and Romania. You want to do the double flag. Are we going to be doing that in the UFC?
Yes, I'm gonna have both flags, Romania and Austria, on my shoulders for the weigh-ins and for the walk-in. But the country I'm gonna represent is gonna be Austria, because here I learned everything, and here I got where I am now with the help of Austria and my team.
You train over at the Edinburgh gym in Austria. How did you find those guys? How did you start training there?
Oh yes, I'm training under the Ethelbros at the Champions Gym in Graz, and they are looking for me very good. We have a lot of good partners, and they are bringing also um, partner or some partners for me that are pretty similar to my opponent, Lucas Alexander, and so they take care of me.
Now, there's a couple other Austrian fighters that we've seen over the years. Obviously, Alexander Rakic, one of them, yourself, another. Have you ever done any training with Rakic?
No, I've never trained with Rakic. He is fighting at light heavyweight, so he walks around at 105, 110 kilo, and I walk around with 75. So it doesn't make that much sense. But I know him, and I like him as a person.
Now, going into 2025, it's crazy. We're already almost done this year. Is the goal to stay active for you? How many times in a perfect world do you want to be in the UFC fighting?
In the perfect world, I fight 4 to 6 times. Why not? If the opportunity is good, I'm gonna take it.
You think it's important for anyone in general, any fighter, to have that philosophy where they train 24/7, year round, just to be ready for whatever happens?
I think we all should do this. I'm training the whole year around, not just when I have a fight scheduled. So, as a professional fighter, in my opinion, you should train all year around, because there is never enough. In my opinion, you are never good enough. You always have to improve something, and if you stop for 1 month, for 2 months, you decrease, and that's not the point of a professional career.
With the win over with the win over Lucas Alexander, how many more do you think you need before you hit that top 15? Do you think it's possible to hit the top 15 within a year of being in the UFC?
Yes, I think so. It depends on my performances, and when I'm gonna walk through the next guys that are gonna be put in front of me, then I'm gonna be there fast. But
You're
don't look over Lucas Alexander, because I respect him as a fighter. I know that he's a very good fighter. Um, but just that's the game. That's the game. You have to. There is just one winner in a fight, and I'm looking forward to give my best to be the winner.
you're such a well-rounded mixed martial artist, guy who has great skill on the hands, and you can do the grappling, you can land some submissions as well. At what point in your career did you really start thinking, if I want to do this at the highest stage, I have to be as well-rounded as possible?
Pretty fast. Um, Pretty fast at the beginning of my career already. I had the luck, I can say, to meet the Ethelbros, and they have a very big experience when we talk about MMA. They started fighting MMA 25, 26 years ago. So I could learn from their experience, and I knew that I have to be good everywhere to get to the top to fight with the best in the world.
Obviously those guys have helped you help other fighters in Austria. Is that something now that you're starting to build a platform? Do you take pride to be able to give back and inspire and help the future generation of Austrian fighters?
Yes, that's a part of my plan. I have a lot of plans for the future, and this is one of them. We want to uh, to build the MMA community in Austria and to make it more popular, to make it more so that the normal people that don't know anything about fighting accept the sport and don't see it just as a brutal, brainless thing. Because
What
as
is
you know, I don't have to tell. Sorry, I don't have to tell you about that. Uh, there is much more behind the scenes to get to the top level as an MMA fighter.
Oh, absolutely. What is the scene like in Austria? Is there a lot of shows? Is it easy for guys to find fights there?
As an amateur, it's easy, but as a professional, it's not that easy. We have three big promotions here. I hope I'm not saying something stupid now. There are more, and I don't know at the moment. But it's Cage Fight Series under the Edelbros. It's Vendetta Fight Nights by Bülent, Saglam, and there is Inferno Fighting Championship. So Inferno is just once a year. Cage Fight Series is once to twice a year, and Vendetta Fight Night is like 5 to 6 times a year. So there are some shows, but there are many more fighters that want to fight, and you can't put them on a fight card. You can't make 25 fights for an event.
What is the biggest thing you want to do? What is the biggest mark that you want to leave from your fighting career?
I want to create a big name for myself, uh, to earn some good money, and to have the possibility to support my family, to support my friends, to support the people I love first, and then to support people that are in need. That's so my life goal, and for that I need money, and this is why money is a big part of it. And this being said, I also want mm, to make my name that important to be in the history books of MMA.
Has it really started sunk in now that you're part of the UFC?
One more time, please.
Has it set in that you're part of the UFC now? It's been a little bit of time since the Contender Series. Does it actually feel like you're a UFC fighter now?
Now it starts to feel like that. After the Contender Series win and the first, the second month after not, but now that I have my debut scheduled, so I know the opponent. I got already contacted from the UFC to tell them which shorts I want. Now it starts to feel like I am a UFC fighter.
Is it pretty cool to be able to look at that 145 division, see all of the names that you've probably been watching for years and be like, you know what, I'm going to be playing these people now?
Yeah, it's a good feeling. Uh, but to be honest, I don't think as much as that forward. I'm just looking to the next step. And the next step is Lucas Alexander. And after him, we're going to see what happens.
All right, Bogey, in a perfect world, what is the outcome when you take on Lucas Alexander in Saudi Arabia?
In a perfect world, I'm going to knock him out in the first round and get out with a performance bonus.
Awesome. Well, Bogey, man, I can't wait for the fight. This is going to be a fun one. And thank you again for talking to me. Have fun at the show tonight.
Thank you, Carlo. Thank you for taking your time and for giving me the platform.
Absolutely. Well, that's it for us tonight. I'm Fight Dr. Carl Prusa. That's Mr. Bogdan Grad. Take care, fight fans.